This 17 News at Noon podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Well, good day. I'm Elena Rusk. Officials at the Kern Valley State Prison investigating the death of an inmate as a homicide after an alleged attack last night. Officers say they found two inmates identified as Adrian Garola and Esteban Ceja attacking 35-year-old Hector Jimenez in his room just after 7 p.m. Jimenez was rushed to the prison's treatment center, but he was pronounced dead at the scene just half an hour later. Law enforcement finding one weapon made by an inmate. Now, Ceja, one of the alleged attackers, was already serving a life sentence with parole of murder and attempted murder. Garola serving life for murder, cruelty to animals, and assault with a deadly weapon. Jimenez was serving a 26-year sentence for voluntary manslaughter. We will update you on this story as we learn more. But now let's head over to some state headlines. Governor Gavin Newsom and a group of Democratic state lawmakers announcing last night they reached a budget agreement that would give direct payments to California taxpayers in response to rising gas prices and inflation. The size of the payment would be based on income and family size, but payments could be up to $1,000. The rebates make up $9.5 billion, a little more than half of a $17 billion relief package that also includes assistance with rent and utilities for eligible Californians, plus a suspension of the state's sales tax on diesel fuel. The suspension would go into effect October 1st and last for 1 year, providing a savings of 23 cents per gallon for diesel, according to state officials. The announcement comes more than 3 months after Governor Gavin Newsom and Democratic legislative leaders initially promised to provide relief in response to rising gas prices and inflation, but clashed for months on who would be eligible for payments and how they would be provided. The plan still needs full legislative approval and hearings on the deal scheduled today. All right, now to some of those headlines from around the nation. As this morning, the Supreme Court ruled that a former Washington State high school football coach had a right to pray on the field immediately following games. In the 6-3 ruling, the court's conservative justices were in the majority, while its liberal members dissented. It's a victory for Joseph Kennedy, who claimed that the Bremerton School District violated his religious freedom by telling him he couldn't pray so publicly after games. The district argued that it was trying to avoid the appearance that the school was endorsing a religious point of view. In the majority opinion, Justice Neil Gorsuch said that Kennedy's expressions were protected under the First Amendment.
Hello, this is Tim Callahan with Clinica Sierra Vista, and we're excited to unveil the Community Health Center of the Future, our comprehensive care center. It's located right across the street from Memorial Hospital. We have every service under one roof, from family medicine, OBGYN care, dental services for adults and children, behavioral health, and much more. So find your way to better care at Clinica Sierra Vista this year at our comprehensive care center. Visit our website, clinicasierravista.org, for the latest on this project. We'll see you soon.
All right, so let's take a look at what's happening around town this week. Tomorrow, the Sundale Country Club in Bakersfield hosting a jazz workshop. Wednesday, the Bakersfield Museum of Art continues its Kids Art Camp. Thursday, you can catch dinner and dancing with Boogie Shoes at the Buck Owens Crystal Palace. Friday, the Angels Roost Band will hit the stage at the Belvedere Cocktail Lounge. Saturday, you can see The Little Mermaid back on the silver screen at the historic Fox Theater. And Sunday, you can head to the Stars Theater restaurant in Bakersfield for the 55-plus musical review, Wrinkles. That's a fun one. Well, now in business news, people are paying high prices at the pump for summer vacations, desperate to get out of the house after the pandemic. And millions of Americans expected to travel this weekend for the long 4th of July holiday. AAA predicting more than 47 million people will travel 50 miles or more away from home. That is a slight increase compared to last year, bringing travel just shy of that seen before the pandemic in 2019. Now, car travel especially will hit a new record, with 42 million people expected out there on our roadways. That increase possibly driven by uncertainty at the airports, as flight cancellations soared yesterday, as airlines and the FAA fought over who was to blame for the current chaos due to critical flight staffing shortages. Well, not of gas prices, and good news for those drivers as steep prices are starting to fall slowly for the first time since early spring. The average price for a gallon of gas down about 10 cents from a week ago, but still nearly $2 above what it was at this time last year. Concerns over a possible recession have pushed oil prices down dramatically. Diesel prices have not seen the same drop, however, rising 3 cents in the last week. So let's take a look at those current prices. According to AAA, the national average price for a gallon of gas is now at $4.89. California's state average $6.31. Here in Kern County, still pricey. Our average at $6.33. So our website will track the lowest prices in the Bakersfield area for you, thanks to GasBuddy.com. Today, that lowest price, $5.69 at the 76th station on South Union Avenue. But those prices do change often, so find the lowest price at a station near you at kget.com.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.